First things first, I wanted to thank everybody for coming along with us on this Back of the Bus joint collaboration with Kaizoku Sleven. I want everybody to make sure they head over to Kaizoku's page and check out part 1 so you can get a good basis for where we're going with all this, and then keep your eyes peeled for part 3 coming soon. Thank you. Appreciate it. The definition of co-opting is to divert or use in a role different from the usual or original one. To adopt an idea or policy for one's own use. It was the first word that came to my mind when we started this whole discussion on woke. The controversial term has lost its once unifying context born out of the African American community in the early 1900s, and has since been replaced with a bellowing dog whistle. What once meant stay safe, be aware, stay black, a higher state of vigilance alerting you to the unspoken dangers all around you, is now having a female lead in a major motion picture. Having a black character pop up in fantasy realms where they previously weren't seen at all. Discussing anything overtly sexual that isn't also explicitly straight. Black history, Hispanic history, Native American history, really any history in general. It also includes some honest-to-God valid critiques of bad media and subpar content, but since 15-second sound bites and catchphrases are a little bit more algorithmically pleasing than nuanced takes, woke it is. It's a loud, all-encompassing wave of a label. It's not the first of its kind, it won't be the last, but it's important to understand where these taglines come from, who perpetuates them, and why. This leads me to our under-melanated friends on YouTube. The trope of non-black people appropriating black cultural aesthetics for money or popularity is age-old. However, it's much more centered around language on YouTube. There's no denying that the use of the term woke in its current form has transcended racial lines. But it didn't start out that way. Some white YouTubers never had a problem blowing into the proverbial dog whistle when it suited them. In fact, my first time encountering Ryan Kinel, 5-star general of the anti-woke, on YouTube, he was mocking George Floyd's death in front of a Simpsons theme park statue. A depiction where the figure was standing on a bear's neck. Enough said.
They have a memorial to George Floyd.
Oh my gosh! George Floyd Memorial Live! Wait,
look at that. They got a Derek Chauvin George Floyd Memorial.
Dude, that's insane.
But woke did for them what rental cars, jewelry leasing, and prop money has done for rap videos. It's taking that shit to a whole nother level. Creating and perpetuating your own buzzwords is also very lucrative, as we discussed earlier. The algorithm, or how Sleven would put it, the Hogwarts selection hat, favors creators that stay on message. You often hear YouTubers replacing certain words or straight up avoiding them altogether. This is because YouTube encourages you, monetarily again, to stay within very narrow and inconsistent parameters of what is acceptable on the platform. Attaching yourself to the new flavor of the month word is not only encouraged by YouTube, but it is consistently rewarded.
The economy behind Stay Woke far outreaches YouTube videos and political speeches. As seen in the intro of the video, the word woke is big money for these guys, and as Marcus mentioned, it can be algorithmically pleasing because there's a huge market for it. The war on woke is big business and can be seen commodified on shirts, books, flags, anti-woke pop sockets, Politicians are obviously getting elected off of campaigns centered around being anti-woke, but on top of that, you can expect news coverage covering woke media and the like. If it seems to be everywhere, you better believe it's because there's someone out there eating all of it up, and pockets are being filled behind it. And I mean, it kind of makes sense for the non-melanated people to get a come up off of the co-opting and appropriating. It's what they do. But where's the incentive for black people to use this new version of woke? You know what? I'm actually going to hold on to that for the next video.
I discussed briefly on part 1 of this video series the history of adapting or just outright changing of words in African American English, or AAVE. We talked about Hotep and its path from prideful designation to black internet slur. I don't believe these type of cultural shifts happen by chance. Language is alive and ever changing, but that doesn't mean that every change is natural. Some are manufactured. CRT, or critical race theory, has been a flashpoint culture war issue for the last 4 years or so. It's a graduate level course taken mostly by law students that examines the application of law and certain statistics as it pertains to race, incarceration rates, arrest records, those kind of things. Bad actors like Florida Governor Ron DeSantis spearheaded a rollout that would make Interscope blush. Let's convince your low information voting base that a college level course is being taught to their grade school level children. Mix that with their already rising anxiety about the browning of America around them, and you get a label by which you can demonize, degrade, and segment into an undesirable category of things that must be done away with. Sound familiar?
It sure does. And this grifting hack has taken their channels to new heights, consistently spamming woke on all social media to support their arguments while funneling new viewers and supporters daily. In all honesty, I think we agree with most of their arguments when it comes to aggressive pandering by Hollywood and the mainstream. No self-respecting fan, regardless of background of any franchise or genre, would accept the current state of tokenism and agenda-based marketing, which usually results in poorly managed projects in exchange for the average consumer's dollars. Especially us black fans who are tired of being handed scraps in the form of race swapping for this representation with blatant poor development and lazy writing. Where we don't align comes mainly with the mismanagement and co-opting of woke to suit your discriminatory undertones, when a new direction has been taken by money-grubbing corporate entities. Specifically when that direction utilizes melanated entities to inhabit non-melanated based fiction, while using current shifts in ideology and trends to attract the sheep among us. Like Erykah Badu stated, we know what you mean when you say woke, and it'll always be satisfying when they fumble their words for each and every time whenever grilled for defining woke.
How would you define wokeism?
Let me start here. I'm not good at defining woke. Okay. Let him do that, but yeah.
Woke is accepting everything that is evil. So, for instance, monster cans.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Wokeism, that's horrible. I mean, it's borderline mental issues, I guess, I would say.
Huh? How would you define woke?
Oh, man. To me, woke is going out of your way to please everybody around you, and to accept any ideology that they feel is comfortable for them. And so I don't think that that's how we're supposed to live our lives. I think you should let people do what they want to do, but I shouldn't be forced to have to accept those things, and we should all be able to just live how we want to live. That's what I feel woke is.
Isn't that cute? But it's wrong!
Thousands of videos flood YouTubers' libraries daily, making it a perennial cash cow that ends up advantageous for both bad actors and honest critics alike to participate in the banter. Which leads me to my last point. The anti-woke train doesn't just accept passengers from Trump 2024 USA. Oh, there are plenty of seats for the folks from Biden's cookout as well. Nobody's left out of the assimilation Olympics. You all can bond over the co-opting of black language and culture. You get a word, you get a word. Even the folks who are making honest assessments of constantly sliding quality Hollywood content these days can't help themselves. In a way, the woke tag is in fact what it hates the most: diverse and inclusive. The reason? Because, like Live Golf and the PGA Tour showed us, money brings us all together. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Also, head back over to Kaizoku Sleven's page to watch part 1 so you have a good basis if you haven't already seen it. And then keep your eyes peeled for part 3. Josh is going to be leading the next installment. Keep your eyes out for that. We're definitely very excited to tie it up. Other than that, we out.